Hello, beautiful and handsome viewers. Welcome to another beautiful episode on Raise Heaven. It's beautiful and amazing to be here again. And on today's episode, we're going to discuss on a very interesting topic, and I believe you are going to enjoy it. With me here is a handsome and amazing guest with capabilities a lot.
This lady is whining me.
No, I'm not. Believe me, I'm not. Okay, so allow him introduce himself.
Okay, my name is Aliyu Baba Mohammed, 400 level student of Mass Communication Department, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria.
Okay, welcome, Stan. It's nice having you in the studio.
Thank you so much.
Okay, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about strategies of having respectful communication. Yes, and that's why we have our Honorable here with us to enlighten us on what communication is, what makes communication disrespectful, and ways we can engage in respectful communication. So welcome, sir. Once again, it's nice having you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, to get started with our topic, what is communication?
Okay, communication in layman language is an act of sharing information. When people talk to each other, the sender sends message and the receiver receives the message and also give the feedback. That means you have said what you want to say to somebody you want to say it to, and the person understands what you say, and the person is now responding to you. That means communication has taken place. So in essence, there's no communication when what you say is not understood by the person you said it to. So communication is always a two-way. The most effective communication in court, the most effective one is always in two-way. The one that sender has sent out, and then the receiver is able to understood or grab the information and then give the feedback. Then that's when the communication becomes effective, and that's the means of communication. So basically, communication is an act of sharing information. It's an act of sending information and talking to somebody and understanding yourselves about what you are talking about. It is communication. That's basically about it.
Wow. Amazing viewers. I'm sure you've been educated on what education is in details. Okay, so one of the things we'll be discussing about is what makes communication disrespectful. As you said earlier, it's not just about sending message. The person must understand, and that's when communication takes place. Able to understand, to send feedback. So what are some things you feel make communication disrespectful?
Yes, there are some things that you do that will make communication very, very disrespectful.
Okay.
First of all, I will list, for instance, if you don't have a listening ability, then there is likelihood that you are going to have a attitude of disrespectful communication. Okay. So, in essence, when somebody is talking to you, all right, and you are listening to respond to the person instead of listening to understand the person, then there is possibility that what you are going to respond to the person will be very disrespectful. So that is one aspect of disrespectful communication, that inability of people to have listening ears about the message that is being passed to them. Then another thing one could think of is the fact that some people on their own, they are very aggressive in nature, and the way they approach issues when it comes to communication is unthinkable. So when something occurs, instead of them to calm down, think the situation on ground, they will tend to resort to taking up communication, and that is where in most cases shouting comes in. Apologies to our ladies. This is where sometimes we see our ladies, they are prone to shouting simply because sometimes that ability of, okay, let me be patient and let me get to the root of this matter before I say anything is a little bit minimal in that aspect. And even any man that has that attitude is likely to have disrespectful communication. Now, Another angle I want to look at it is disrespectful communication is when it comes to people living with disabilities. I want to give a life scenario, a life experience. There was a day we pray at a mosque, and this guy pray with us is actually physically challenged. He's crippled. Sorry to say, we don't want to. I don't want to use that word. He's disabled, like a person with disability. Let me just put it that way. So he was trying after the prayer. You know, people used to rush out sometimes, and the road used to be congested. So he was trying to go out from the mosque. Then, you know, he has peers, that's age mates, that they are growing up together. That his age mate now was now telling the guy in Hausa that kai bello ka tashi anya masu kafa su wuce. Meaning, he was telling that cripple guy that stand up from the road, allow those with leg to pass. Are you getting that? Now, he thought he was joking, but it was a communication very painful to the guy, and the guy got angry through that process, to the extent that I have to call the guy and orientate him that yes, these people you are seeing this way, this is not the way they want to be.
True.
But God want to see them this way, and this is the best for them. However, the way we talk to them matters a lot. All right, you cannot say because he is your age mate, you can just talk to him using his fault. Let me say that his shortcoming or body disability or physical challenge, it is not right. So in fact, that was that day I heard the guy telling him that if you think I went to the market to buy my condition, God will sell your own to you too. You guess? So you to know that yes, what the guy said did not actually went down well with him. So communication matters a lot. The way we talk, the way we say things to people matters a lot. And this is the reason I always emphasize on people think, meaning anything you want to say should come from your brain, not just from your head. All right? If you say you'll be talking from your head, that means you'll be talking from your mouth. And most things that will come out from your mouth is nonsense. It is not, yes, it is mouth through mouth is a channel, but what you say comes from the brain. So if you don't use your brain to think before you say something, then there's every possibility that you will always be talking in nonsense. And that is where disrespectful communication will come in. So a bit about that for now.
Wow. I've really learned a lot from this beautiful education you have shared with us, and I believe you are also there learning. Okay, going to the next thing we're going to talk about is you've mentioned ways people engage in disrespectful communication. What are some ways rather, that you feel we can engage in respectful communication?
Okay. First of all, no boundaries of communication. People should know where they should start communicating and where they should stop. You don't just jump into communication or jump into talking. We have said it before that communication is not about talking to people and people are able to understand and respond to you. So don't just jump into talking and feel that, yes, I want to talk just because you want to talk. Talk when you need to talk, not when you want to talk. In essence, communicate when there is need for you to communicate. Don't communicate when you want to communicate. This is where the problem used to lies. When you feel like I need to say something, when you don't need to say it, then there is a problem that what you say may not go down well with people you want to say it to. So people should know boundaries when it comes to communication, and then respect yourself. When it comes to communication, know that okay, what I want to say, if somebody said it to me, how will I feel? Put yourself in the shoe of the receiver of your message. If this person should say what I want to say to me, am I going to feel good or am I going to feel bad? If you see that you are going to feel bad, then don't say it. But if you weigh it using your brain and you realize that yes, I'm going to feel good if somebody said this to me, then you are good to go. So know what you want to say before you say it. Another thing, be respectful. Just as it's stated in the topic, be very, very respectful. There are some people that they don't have respect at all. You see somebody, that you know this person is an elderly person, but you tend to talk to the person as if you are age mates. Disrespectful communication comes in that way. So, in essence, when you want to talk to people, not just approach people with talking anyhow and feel like everybody is like your age mate. All right, and this is, sorry to say, this is where there are some cultures in Nigeria here that, especially in typical northern Nigeria here, that sometimes their activities don't go down well with me, simply because the way they approach the elders. Somebody can just come now, and in my own culture, you don't dare call somebody that is elderly by the person's name straightly. For instance, if the person is Ibrahim, I will now just say, Ibrahim, yeah, you don't do that. I have to put something like a respectful title to the person, like Malan Ibrahim, Yahya Ibrahim, Mr. Ibrahim. That is how it is done. And that is the way respectful communication should be. So you should be respectful, respect yourself, respect to people you want to talk to, and then that's when you are going to have a respectful communication. Another aspect here I will say is be a role model. All right. When you want to it is said that if you want to be respected, respect others, because respect is reciprocal. So be how do I put it now? Be role model of communication in such a way that you should look back that even if not within the entire society, in your family you have siblings coming behind you. Know that these siblings are looking at you on anything you say. And this is why even the parents also themselves, they have to be very mindful of the way they communicate with each other, like husband and wife now. If you have in a house or family where you have husband and wife that always shout at each other at slight mistake, if care is not taken, their children will likely grow up and think maybe to communicate, you have to shout on people, which is very, very bad. So people should basically be a role model and look behind and see that, yes, some people are looking at them and they are copying the way they do things, so that they can be able to have a very respectful communication. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Honestly, I've learned a lot. And a few of the things I've learned from all what he has said, he has actually said a lot. And all what he has said are things we can actually implement into our daily lives to make us better at communication and also more respectful. And please note that, as he said, you don't just listen to respond, but rather you listen to understand where the person is coming from. So please, from now, even if you've just been listening to respond back, you should know that listening to understand is being respectful. And you also have to respect yourself and respect others for respectful communication to take place. Shouting is not communication. Learn to communicate. He has said a lot, honestly, and yes, I'm now educated, and it all starts with you, regardless of your gender, your age. We all have to engage in respectful communication, and we are all to portray ourselves as role models, in the sense that it must not be that you're not seeing people doing it, but with the knowledge you have, implement what you've learned today and also be a role model. Okay, to round this up, sir, can you please recommend ways people can engage in respectful communication on the norms, like just a recommendation that we can practice daily to make us better at communication?
Okay. For you to practice good communication, I think I can mention I may touch some things that I've said before.
Okay.
But first thing, if you want to have a very effective result, I mean, if you want to be successful in anything, don't look at the moment you want to do the action. Look at the good result you are looking up to. So if you want to communicate with people, you think of what you intend to gain from that communication, and that will give you respectful communication. All right? If you want to have, for instance, I want to communicate to somebody, and this person I want to communicate with, I want to be connected with the person. So that means I have to mind myself when I want to communicate with the person. I have to prepare myself for that communication. And that's one thing you need to do. If you want to communicate with people, prepare your mind first of all, and then know what you want to achieve from that communication. And that will guide you on how to communicate with the people. Then think of building relationship with people. All right, building relationship in let me say that in nowadays in today's society, they say everything is about connection. All right. In my country, Nigeria, they said even if you carry out an act of corruption, for you it is connection. All right. So everything you need to be connected. So if you want to talk to people, think also, okay, I have to connect with these people, or I have to connect with this person, I have to build a relationship with this person, and I'm looking forward to have positive results in our relationship with this person. So through this, you'll be able to actually communicate effectively. So there are a lot of other things that one can think of, but most important is the fact that respect yourself, respect others, and mind what you say before you say it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. As you have said, be mindful. Be mindful. Always be conscious of where you are, the people you are around, what they are doing at the moment, how they feel. Just like the story you shared with the man with his ability. The man that said what he said to him wasn't mindful. That was why he said. So we should learn to be mindful, and being mindful will help us engage in respectful communication. And please, we all have brains. He said, don't just speak, make use of your brains. Okay, thank you so much, sir, for sharing with us all this knowledge on this beautiful episode.
It is my pleasure.
Appreciate, and hopefully we'll see you more often.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, beautiful and amazing viewers, for staying tuned with us. And I believe you've learned a lot from today's episode. So we're going to shout out to our CEO, Mrs. Ray, aka Lady Ray. Thank you so much, Ma, for all you've been doing, all that you are doing, and all that you continue to do through this organization. And please, viewers, if you are yet to follow us on our social media platform, you can do so at Raise Heaven on Facebook and Instagram. And you can also check out our website at www.rayheavens.org. Thank you so much, and see you next week. Bye.